What I'm gonna tell you is that titty has slipped out for 6 times.
Hey, yo, what up, though? Welcome back to What Up, though? So, I'm your host, ChaseKassidy. Yeah. And today I have someone who I've been friends with online from Instagram for about 2 years. Actually, I think more closer to 3 years. Christopher Natal, you also may know him as Maria. Yeah, it's awesome. What's up, beautiful?
I just got here, so I'm frazzled. I'm like, what's going on? I literally just walked in the house. Let me turn on.
She's all like, I'm frazzled, but you sitting here looking like you just came off a movie set. Get the fuck out of here. Like,
I did just come off a movie set.
My bitch! I love it.
You know? Oh, I miss you. It's been a while since we got to chit chat. Do you remember the days where it would be like 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. and we would be voice noting all morning?
Oh my God, yeah.
All morning, voice notes. We were obsessed with podcasting and everything.
That's pretty much like how it happened. That's how we, like, honestly, I'm gonna tell from my side how we met, right? Because I'm the one that pretty much started it. So, we have a mutual friend, William. His last name is escaping me right now. But he and my brother went to college together. And so that's how he and I are friends. And when you and Vic started your podcast, he posted about it. And I had just started my show. And so I was like, yo, let me check this out. And so I listened. And like within like the first 5 minutes, I was like, yo, this feels like a show that is like way too fucking fab for me. But I feel right at fucking home. It was so cool. And so I listened and then I reached out and I was like, yo, or whatever. And then you hit me back and then you started listening to my shit and then we started talking and I was like, yo, like, they're fucking amazing.
Yeah, no, I was obsessed in that time because we were podcasting too. And I had this obsession of, you know, we would say it all the time, but like Pattern Family. So I loved linking with other podcasters because I wanted to learn. So I was so just like enthusiastic to meet everyone, and you and I instantly hit it off. I'm trying to think of what Will you're talking about. I can't think.
I believe it's Bridges. I believe his last name is Bridges. If I'm not
then that's Will. That's okay. I know Will. He's from Philly. That's
him and my brother went to college together.
Well, listen, you look fabulous.
Thank you. So do you.
You have taken a whole new like turn on life, and I know that a lot of it is owed to your happiness. You are very happy right now, and it shows. And not that deserves a congratulations, but in a way it does. You found something that has you just so unabashed, just happy. You are so happy. And if no one's told you, like you are so happy. It just shows on you.
That I really appreciate that. Like you have no idea because I've like the way I've wrestled with like my mental health and getting a hold on that like these past few years. And I have like honestly seen exponential growth in myself in that way in like the past like few months. And so for you to say that to me means the world.
And it's a fun fact that like you and I haven't had the honor of meeting in person, but we have a great enough rapport for me to be able to say, hey, I've known you a few years and I can see just on how you look, how you're talking, how you're interacting, just everything in general. I'm like, oh my God, he's so happy. I'm so excited I'm happy that you're so happy.
Honestly, seeing your like the success and like the transitions and like you look so comfortable. It's like you are correct in those spaces. And I fucking fan out. I swear. You can ask my boyfriend, I'll be like, yo, look at my friend. Like I'll be listening.
All I keep hearing, not even keep hearing, it's what I'm feeling. Similar to what I said to you, your life, I feel like you're just on this other trajectory where you're doing stuff that's making you happy. I'm in the same boat, you know, I am just doing totally different things and I am in so many rooms and so many places that I never imagined I would be. I wasn't joking when I said I just got off of a movie set.
No, I know you weren't. And that's what I love
I've been doing stuff. Like, it's just, I can't believe the stuff that I've accomplished this year. And the harder part for me, which I gotta slow down about, is I don't take a moment to pat myself on the back, and I don't take a moment to rest, because in my head, I want to keep topping myself. I want to keep, okay, what's next? I learned this, what's next? What's that? And it's just like, sometimes I got to sit in it and be like, bitch, you did enough. And you told me you want us to get to know the real each other.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Got it.
I want to know, like, this is the thing, like, we have this rapport and we talk and stuff, and like, I have your number, we text, like, but like, we've never like had a conversation where like I really got to know who you are. So there are like a lot of gaps in my mind about this person that in my mind I think of as a friend, you know what I'm saying? So that's what this is about. But I want to start here. This is the first thing we want to start with. First, what are you drinking? What's in the glass?
I am drinking boxed wine. It's Chablis, it's Vela, hold on.
Okay, fab as fuck. This outfit, the setup, I hate you. You're disgusting. Yes.
This is my favorite box of wine. There's always a box of this.
Okay, good to know.
At all time. And if I'm not drinking white, if I'm not drinking white wine, I'm drinking white Zinfandel, which is more of a blush. But that's about it. I don't prefer reds. Reds make me sleepy or a little mellow or too sexy. And so there's that. But my go-to to just chill and coast out some white wine.
Okay.
What about you? What are you sipping on?
Right now, so I don't drink alcohol, right? But I do, how can I say this? Because I'm gonna bleep all this shit out right here.
And it mellows you out. I know you like to coast too.
Yeah.
I like to do an exercise, right? When I'm meeting someone. And sometimes actually it's funny, I typically do this more on like a romantic interest level, but it works.
Okay.
So I like to ask these questions. This is, you dive in, make a choice, done. And then I tell you my answers after.
All right, got you.
So pizza versus Chinese.
Chinese, bitch, please. Chinese.
Wings versus tacos.
Wings all day, every day.
Your starter Pokemon, Charmander, Squirtle, or Bulbasaur?
I'm gonna just pick one because I don't know Pokemon. Oops. Charmander.
So see, that's what we're gonna have to get. Now we gotta get into something. It's either a fire type, a water type, or a grass type. What would be your type?
I'm fire.
Same, I'm fire. Would you rather hear through your eyes or see through your ears?
Hear through my eyes.
Why?
Seeing through my ears, like my vision is gonna be wild.
But see, don't you think sometimes like like an iguana or what's that? A chameleon? Their eyes are like on the side of their head, and like.
But like that's the
or like fish have their eyes on the side of their head and they're fully functional.
But like their face is so narrow, so the eyes are, so they can see in front of them. Like I can't see in front of me with my, you know what I'm saying?
So you would prefer to hear from your eyes?
I mean, if I had to make this terrible fucking choice, yeah.
Gun to your head, Nicki Minaj song, Can't Fuck Up the Lyrics. What is it?
It would be probably, it's a feature on My Chick Bad, probably.
Friday the 13th, Guess Who's Playing Jason?
Yes.
Mine's is Moment for Life.
I feel like I knew that for some reason.
And me and you are the same on the food. I would have picked Chinese and wings.
Listen, a bitch done lost like 50-something pounds. I want to show a little something that I done worked for.
So what's that about even? What happened? What inspired this? Now listen, I'm gonna answer the question for myself and then you tell me if it's right.
Okay.
Cause Bay's body is on it.
It's stupid. It's stupid.
I wanna give him the credit and say he's been whooping your ass in the gym. Am I correct?
Nah, actually no. Now, to that point though, what I will say is that it is additional motivation for me. Yeah. You know, but I started my weight loss way before I met him. So I actually started 2 weeks before everything shut down for the pandemic. Cause I was like, yo, I'm like 30 overweight. Like this ain't, I don't know what's going on here. I gotta drop this.
But you had a Corona Bay.
Yeah, we met in August of 2020. So by the time I met him, I had already lost like 30 pounds. And that was my goal actually. But then like, being with him and being together and like seeing it was motivation, like I looked up one day literally and did not realize I lost like an additional 25 pounds. I was like, what the hell? Like my drawers was falling off.
Yeah.
So, you know, we gonna show that because I worked hard for that. I did. Worked hard, goddamn.
Listen, I'm here for it. You look terrible.
Thank you. I mean, you always, you know.
So those were some of my spitfire like questions that I'm like, that's a funny thing to kind of get to know each other. And in a way, because like, I look at that, like, if you was to come over to the house and we're jamming and having a night, I know to order Chinese. I know to order wings.
I love you.
You know what I mean? I'm just like, okay, I see. He don't drink, but I know what to have here just in case. Like, it's that kind of stuff to prepare. And I like to kind of be like that with my friends. Like, when people come over here, I always have like a little bit of something for everybody. So there's no one who can come over here and be like, oh my God, like, I went, like whether you don't drink, you don't smoke, you know something, I have something here for you to chill, vibe out to. The music's right, the vibe's right. It'll be a moment.
I get that from you, and I always got that from you. Like even from listening to the show, and this is what made me feel like, yo, like this is a person that I would want to know, I want to be around. Like I get that comfort from you through listening to you. Like it's very much like be who the fuck you are. I'm gonna love you regardless. I don't give a fuck. Like, and then also, this is something I admire about you. And I know that we're human and like, we all have bad days and we all have like insecurities and stuff, but like the way that you just like exude confidence, like how did you get there? Like, how did you get here? What's that role been like for you? Because I mean, to me, like you're one of the most unique people I've ever like met. So like, how did you got to this level of confidence? Like,
as you said, you know, we all have our things, but if I had to describe myself, I would describe myself as confident. I am very confident, and not in the way of that I think I'm better or the best. I just know I'm good, and I know I'm good at what I do, and whether that's makeup, my outfit, my content, my whatever, I know that whatever I'm doing, I'm gonna give it my all and it's gonna be good. You know, whether it ends up being your cup of tea or not, that's fine. But you can't say it's bad. You know what I mean? Like there's people who could look at me and be like, she's cool, she's cute, but I don't like the way she dresses. Cool, but you can't tell me I look bad. You know what I mean? You can't say I don't look bad. You can't say I'm not beat. You can't say like, so I kind of walk through life with that, like, I satisfy myself. Like, I know I'm giving it my all. I know I feel I look good. I know I look good. Nobody can tell me nothing else. I know the stuff that I'm doing is good. I'm proud of the stuff that I'm doing. So it's just kind of that mindset. It didn't necessarily happen overnight, but I feel like it always existed. Like, since I was a kid, I was like the captain on my block. Like, all the kids hung out on my stoop. They all hung out with me. Everybody came to my house to play games since I was a little kid. You know, even in high school, like I was very, you know, involved in everything, cool with everybody. So it was just, it was just me. But I look back on eras. Like, do you ever see people who are like ashamed of who they were in high school or ashamed of who they were 5 years ago?
And absolutely.
I'm not gonna lie, there's times that I look at my makeup 10 years ago and I'm like, what the fuck was I doing? Like, I look a fucking mess, but I am so proud of that person. Like, I think of the time and I think of that person. And during that time, like, although I've elevated, I can't shit on myself from that era, because in that era, that was the best I was doing. And I felt fucking fab. My only explanation for the confidence is it has always been there. I've never been afraid to go after anything I wanted to. Whether it was, I want to join the science fair, win the science fair, I would join the science fair and win the science fair. I want to do the talent show, I would do the talent show and win the talent show, because anything I wanted to do, I'm like, I'm going to do it and I'm going to win it.
Right.
Like, that was just always my mindset. And I'm thankful and blessed to have had a family that was very encouraging and supported me just going and winning everything. Yeah. So I've kind of just kept that with me, and that's always just been in my innate nature to just be a winner and go for it and this and that. And don't get it twisted, I win often, but there are many times I fall fucking flat on my motherfucking face. And I have no problem falling flat on my face, because I'm just gonna be like, oh let me get up, let me shake this shit off and let me keep going. Like, that's it, period.
Like, I love observing your work ethic. I know that you party hard. I know that your nights go into mornings, but you are the type that will let that happen and go right to fucking
and go right to work. I love it. Right to work. And you know what's been scary, Chase? And I'm like, I don't know if I know you still work and you have your job and you do what you do. It's just, it's weird. Like, you know, I made a life change to give up salary, corporate level type lingo and atmosphere and, you know, steady income and this. I gave all of that up to now be chasing people for invoices and freelancing this and getting a contracted gig for this and this kind of thing. And I'm like, I've never in all my years in the workforce been paid like this. It's just such a different level of hustle. And it keeps me, I don't know, fresh. Like, it's just, I just feel like I'm, like, it makes me feel like I'm working for my dollar. Yeah. If you get what I mean. The most interesting part of, at least for me, for the last 2 years is all my money I've made has been just off being me and doing me.
It's cool as hell.
100%. I want to keep building my brand and who I am and shit like that. And now all these other things just keep falling in my lap. And like, it's so strange that I'm doing all this like acting shit, because like, if you asked me 5 years ago, I would have said, no, that's not the route I'm going.
People that know you. Like, to us, it's like, of course. Like, to me, like, I'm like, this, of course. That's what it was. Of course. Like, when you were like, I was really like lightly joking when I was like, oh, movie set, but like, I'm not gagged that you said, I just came up, it makes sense.
It's the strangest thing from when someone, because you know, everybody's favorite thing to ask, Chase, is, oh, what do you do? Yeah. And like, now I gotta say, I'm like, oh, I'm an entertainer, actor. Yeah. And that blows my mind, because I'm like, that sounds so crazy to say.
It's so crazy because like, I'm like kind of like in the baby stages of that. When people ask me what I do, I still always say, like, I talk about my corporate job. I'll say that's what I do. Yeah.
I saw a post that said, stop telling people that their passion is a side gig. Like, bitches that do lashes and eyebrows, bitches that do makeup, like bitches that do that, they be like, oh, your side hustle. No, bitch, that's not my side hustle. Yeah. That's just my job. That's another one of my jobs. Yeah, like, that's no less my job than me clocking in at my 9 to 5, bitch. It still works.
A lot of times, like with all of this, like I didn't see any of this coming. I just did a podcast to help with my fucking mental health, and I just wanted to talk with my friends. That was it. And then here I am, almost 3, 4, 5 years later, and the editing, the producing, the being the talent, the what am I going to wear, the lighting, the putting the sets up and breaking them down, the scheduling, the casting, like This is a fucking business.
And you're doing a lot. And you're doing a lot because you're doing so much because you're doing that whole thing. Yeah. You're doing it started here. Now you have all these other little bubbles that you are managing and on top of. And it's like you're taking on a lot. Okay. There's some people who think a podcast is so impossible. Oh, you have a podcast? Whoa! Like, and it's like, no, it's fine. Like, yeah, here you go. Or people are like, oh, I want to start a podcast. I have no idea how to do it. And it's like, girl, here, just do this. Google. Right. Like, it's fine. Yeah. But then also sometimes people try to make it seem like it ain't work. And it's like, bitch, it's work.
An effort, like, yes.
Yeah. 100%. You know what else is interesting I want your opinion on? Is especially because you do it so much and you do it on a much more level than I have. You have so many shows and so many things and YouTubes now and all this, that it's like you are really putting yourself out there, right? And it used to get scary for me when I would meet people who knew all this stuff about me and I had never met them before. Like, I'm at a brunch at a bar and they're like, oh, you're such and such, and ha ha ha. And it was funny when you said this, and I love when you do that. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, we just met.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like it was a mind fuck sometimes of like, oh shit, there's people listening to this and getting to know me before they even get a chance to meet me. Right. And that is a very unique experience to have. And like, you're doing YouTube, people are seeing you physically, they get to see y'all, and it's just like that. And I mean, obviously I'll take romanticism out of it because you're not looking for dates, but like, just in general, meeting new people or sometimes meeting people, isn't that sometimes like like your boyfriend, has he ever admitted to like going back and listening to all your...
Oh, listen, let me tell you, my boyfriend he's a fan of my show. And so what happened was we started kind of chatting a little bit. I hit him up and it was like, we weren't even like talking romantically, like, and he just started listening to my show. He hit the link in the bio and started listening. And so by the time we got to dating, he knew a lot of shit. And like, honestly, I would have kept it from him. I wouldn't have wanted him to know, because I would have wanted him to really just know me. But it kind of worked in my favor, because what he said was he got to hear who I was, but then also he got to see, oh, this is real life. He actually is like this. So I think it kind of helped build trust a little bit faster in that way. But it is really strange to meet people and they know shit like so for instance, it was a very small isolated incident, but it was really trippy because it was right when we started wearing masks, right? And I was at the grocery store and I was walking past someone and she looked at me and she said, I love your show. And
you had a mask on.
I had a mask on. And I looked at her and I was like, I didn't recognize, I was like, huh? And I was like, what? Wait a minute. And she was like, the cookout, right? And I was like, yeah. She was like, I love your show. I was like, thank you. She just walked away. I was like, thank you. Like, it was the weirdest thing. Like, I grew up in Brooklyn where honestly, you could, if you don't say something to somebody, when you see them, you'll never see them again. So you have a level of like anonymity, and not having that is weird sometimes.
And where that can creep you out, it is also simultaneously inspiring, right? Because it's also like, oh my God, I have a similar story. I was at a park in Astoria, Queens, randomly hanging with some friends at like a barbecue or something. I'm talking, having a good time, minding my business. These two boys come up to me and they're like, are you the girl from that show, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, huh? And they're like, we heard your voice from over here and we knew that it was you. And then that started becoming a thing where people were like, oh, I knew you were at the party. I didn't see you, but I knew you were there because I heard your voice. And I'm like, oh, and I've been told a million times, I have a very recognizable voice.
You do. It's one of my favorite things about you, I swear.
It's a thing. And it's funny because I'll never know it because I hear myself all the time and I just think that I sound like myself. I don't know what I sound like to other people. So other people think it's this big thing. But that started tripping me out because fuck that. I had never done anything visual prior to Living Loud. I had only done audio, Living Loud. And then after that, I started doing some visual kind of stuff with Dear Maria and stuff like that. But before that, I'm like, people, it felt like Wendy Williams. It felt like people know your voice. Like this is nuts. But what can you yourself for you improve on?
Speaking better to myself. I'm not, and this is like the hardest thing for me to do for whatever reason. It's really interesting because I'm all about like speaking well and speaking life into other people. But when it comes to myself, it is a challenge for me to say positive things and to affirm myself and to actually like, and the thing is like, I know it's true. I know when I say great things to myself, that is true because I am the shit. I'm dope. Like I'm talented. I'm all those things. But in those moments when I feel really low, like I'm saying all the other things that are influencing the way that I feel. So that's something I'm trying to get a grip on. It's a slippery grip, but I'm trying to grab onto it.
I think this year I've been struggling, and I've been struggling for years with this. I have an issue with separation. And over the last 2 to 3 years, I have lost many core friends, like people who were my best friends, my confidants, my people. And I had this fantasy embedded in my brain of, oh, these people are going to be my friends forever. And I know that that's unrealistic, but my heart can't cope with the tarnishment that has come from so many of these broken and now failed friendships, relationships, things like that. And I guess what I want to improve for myself or or get better at myself is walking away and being okay. I am more inclined in my nature to fight for my relationships and fight for my friendships or whatever it is, whether it's romantic or platonic. I am more like, we got to figure this out. We got to make this work. We got to figure this out. But I don't realize how much I'm spreading myself thin sometimes for people. And it's like, and even then, just that too, the spreading myself thin. I'm approaching an age where I am enjoying my me time. I'm enjoying my rest. I'm enjoying doing the great, fun, new things that I'm doing. And I understand that everybody's not allowed to come with us on these new journeys. And I get that. But it's hard because there's people who you still have relationships with, who are some of your best friends, who are family to you. And you can almost feel in your subconscious that you're like, yeah, things are changing. Things aren't the same, or things haven't been the same in years, or this and that. And like, I have this thing in my head where sometimes I'm like, I could see this ending one day and us maybe falling off and not being cool. And like, I just gotta be okay with that. And at the same time, I want to challenge myself to make more friends. And I know that sounds crazy.
No, it doesn't.
Because people are probably like, oh my God, this girl has 1 billion friends. She's friends with everybody. Not really.
Right.
Like, I have a core set of bitches that I hang with, and that's about it. Like, and I gotta stop doing that. So even today, like, I can tell you today, I'm so proud of myself. Like, I was on set today and I was like giving out my phone number, giving out my Instagram, and I hit it off with this one girl. Like, we're hitting and I was like, and I got on the train today on my way home and I'm like, oh my God, I made like a new friend and I like love her. Because I'm like, I don't do that. I don't do that. And it's not that I'm a bitch, because I'm not a bitch. I'm so kind, so sweet, charismatic, friendly to everyone. It's just I don't take that extra step or effort to get to know people. And I think that and to get to know people like this, to get to know people more personal and more deeply, because of my fear of what's the point? Like, are you gonna be here forever or not? Because I've already had people who I thought were gonna be here forever and they're not. So that's my challenge for myself, is to just give people more shots to get to know me. And get to know me personally.
We have a lot in common. Like, hearing you say a lot of that stuff, I was like, yo, that's literally myself too. Like, I got my friends, and I mean, you hear them, they come on the show. Like, I have a great core group of people around me.
Shout out to, hold on, because while we're here, because I know my girlfriend, Lady Mills.
Yes.
Lady Mills, that's also Legacy, right?
No, that's different people. Legacy, somebody else, but yes.
Legacy. Who's my girlfriend that I really like?
Is it Jeter?
Jeter, yes. That's Jeter. She's one of my favorites on there. And there's another girl on there who's single, and she's like down for whatever sexually. She's very sexually like out there. She's kind of out there. One of the girls on your show, she's like down to try whatever. She ain't afraid to like try shit. Shamir.
That's what you're talking about.
And she's kind of younger. She sounds hot, really that.
She's crazy.
And then
she's insane.
And then your white boy, the white boy who be out there.
Grant, I love Grant.
He's fun. And then of course the icon, Miss Groovy Lou.
Yeah.
So that's my shout out. Y'all got fans here in New York, in Brooklyn. I listen whenever I get the chance to. Sometimes I'll just binge it. And I'll do like 2, 3, but I never let it go. Actually, I never let it go more than 2 or 3.
Oh my gosh.
I still tune in whenever the minute that I can. And usually I'll have like a potting day where I'm like catching up on all my shit. And I'll be like, all right. And I'll catch up and y'all make me laugh because it's so funny. Whatever the hell it is that y'all are talking about that day, but I still tune in. I do. So shout out to everybody over there, down to the North Carolina.
You don't know what that means to me. Like, for real, I was literally in here earlier today and I was just venting to my boyfriend, like how like people, like if y'all knew the amount of work that goes into this, like all the shows I have, everything that y'all see from this.
Listen, I know, and I wasn't even doing it alone.
Yeah.
I had for my first 6 months a sound engineer, a producer, and people who did it for us. Mm-hmm. And then when me and Vic went solo, at least I still had me and Vic doing it together. Mm-hmm. You are still doing all this, and a bunch of other shit. Believe you me, I know that shit is work. That's why I think it.
Thank you, Mama. I was telling him though, I was like, it's frustrating to me when I put all this work into something and just the people that like, the fact that you were able to sit here just now and like read off names of people who are like on my show, like off the top of your head, that's like, yo, my show is being listened to by a person that I haven't even met in real life yet. Like, so I get a little disappointed.
And I love it.
And so like, this is like, yo, I know I'm doing something right. Like that was,
So while we have this then, I figure it would be an honor, since I haven't had the chance to, but I think I want to take a stab at doing a Be Nice Asshole for you.
Oh my God. Yeah, let's do that. I love that.
So as a fan of the Cookout Podcast, I've never had the opportunity to do a Be Nice Asshole. So I'm going to be super nice right now. And I'll say that for Chase, I think you have some of the greatest ambition I've seen. You do not care. Once something is in your brain and you want to do it, it's tunnel vision, but not in a bad way. It's in the way in which I'm like, I'm doing this, and I'm going for it. You're not looking left, no distractions, you're going for it. And you're the type of person that's like, it's an old school way of like, fuck it, I'm gonna reach out. And it's just like, yo, but like when I look at my phone and I have a voice note from ChaseKassidy, I'm like, I already know. I'm like, what he's cooking up now? Literally in my head, I'm like, what is he cooking up now? And not in an annoying way or anything, just in a, here he goes. I'm like, his brain is working. What is it? Let me hear. So I'm like, let me listen to what Chase is doing. So you are so ambitious, and it's admirable, and keep going. You know, everybody's journey is different, and go for what you want. But yes, I think your ambition is very admirable, and you're so kind. You're so kind. And from the moment we started being cool, you made me feel like, oh my God, he thinks I'm so cool. You know what I mean? Like, you have a way of breathing that life into the people you care about. And so keep that, because there's some times when people are beating themselves up, you know what I mean? Or maybe you're having a low day and you get a random text or a random comment on Twitter or a random something from Chase, and it's like, oh, you know what? Someone believes in me.
Oh my gosh.
There we go.
Oh man. Like that level of affirmation from somebody that, and I'm going to return this, to get that level of affirmation from somebody who I look up to, not only in the way of like, oh, what you're going after, like in entertainment, because I do look at you that way, but definitely like in the way that you treat people, like your kindness, like you haven't changed literally at all. You have been the exact same person. You've treated people with respect and kindness. I've never seen you get nasty or out of pocket if it wasn't deserved. Like you, and that's just beautiful to me. Like it radiates off of you. And I think this is why like people are like so attracted to you. You have this thing about you that just says love, and it says anytime anybody who's around me can just be who the fuck they are.
Yeah.
And it's like a safety with you. And I think, you know what, that's what it is. In my head, like you and Lou, for some reason, are the best of friends. And I think you guys share that thing of like making people feel safe. And for a person like me who has dealt with like major anxiety for a lot of his life and being depressed and stuff like that, I love being around people who have that safe energy, and you have that, and it comes through the fucking phone. That's crazy to me. So I think you're a wonderful person, and you're getting everything you fucking deserve right now. I love that.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's that maternal instincts in me. Yeah. I don't know. It's innate. I've always just had it. There's that. I hear that. And I'm happy that you can recognize that, even as you said, through the phone and socially. I do find myself to be kind and trying to make everyone comfortable as possible, until you're here at my house fucked up, stretched out on the couch. You thought you were safe, bitch, but now you're not. So that should be happening too. But yeah, no, that was that, because I know we haven't had the blessing of me pulling up in motherfucking North Carolina.
It's happening.
But
so it will. I'm gonna tell you something. No,
what I'm gonna tell you is that titty has slipped out 6 fucking times.
Listen.
So either the shirt's too big or it's too small, or you're missing a button.
I'm gonna tell you, I love me a good Nene Leakes oversized flowy moment. So a cold shoulder. Just a little something, you know. Honestly, I want to tell you, like, I asked you to do this, and you were like, yes, like not even a question. And I appreciate that.
Well, some of that is because, like I said, I really, really wished and I hoped for the opportunity for us to do it when I was doing it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And we never got that chance before it ended. And I always just said I wanted to fulfill that. Yeah. You know, I did. I always wanted to just fulfill that and say, I'm going to do something with Chase, because you were definitely a very key component to encouraging me and pushing me to keep going. You made me feel like, wow, we're doing something right. Here's someone who's been doing it a year more than us, and it's cheering us on and telling us how dope we are. So it definitely, that was something that pushed me to do it. And, you know, it was sad that we didn't get the chance to do it how we wanted to do it, where we did a cross episode, you know, where you are on ours and I was on yours, but it didn't happen. So I wanted to get this, you know, off of my bucket list of something to do. And although this isn't me personally on the cookout, I feel that this suffices.
Oh no, Mama, you're gonna be on. You are going to be on, because I'm telling you, no, seriously, I have got to have you and Lou on the show, like, together. I really think y'all would really get along. Like,
oh, I'm sure, because I'm a wild card, and I know he's a wild card. He makes me laugh. It's so funny. It's so funny.
I love that guy, and I'm gonna tell you, like, honestly, like, I know we haven't met in person, but I'm like, from the bottom of my heart, I fucking love you. You are like everything.
And I love you too.